chance to spread my leaves further. Coming alive after winter. Coming alive after winter. Waking from hibernation, stretch the knots out from your limbs, breathe in the air, bathe in the sun, restore, restore, restore. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to dig my roots deeper. Spring, oh, another chance to spread my branches wider. We all come alive after winter. We all come alive after winter. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Nancy, good morning, Merlis. You've come in from pulling weeds. That's very, that fits in with today's theme. Nice day, lots of weeds are buttercups, and those little blue ones that you like, but they choke the other plants, indeed. I was going to water my hydrangea, which I planted the other day, because they're like, you gotta water them, you gotta give them lots of water. But we keep expecting it to pour. So I might have to go water that plant after. But yes, today's theme is spring, and we have songs of spring, and some of them pertain to gardens. Also, I hope it's not too confusing for me. I wrote my set list and then moved it around, and hopefully we'll get the order right. Oh yeah, and good morning. All right, we're gonna start this spring episode with my song Spring. Crocus peeks through the snow cover, daffodil isn't far behind, jays blue and grey and robins red, return, return, return. Oh, another spring. Wings unfurl from the pupae, antennae investigate, sudden sacs full of tiny legs, explode, explode, explode. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to dig my roots deeper. Oh, another spring, another chance to spread my leaves further. Coming alive after winter. Waking from hibernation, stretch the knots out from your limbs, breathe in the air and bathe in the sun, restore, restore, restore. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to dig my roots deeper. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to spread my leaves further. Oh, We all come alive after winter. Spring. And I wanted to do spring as the theme because this is the first week that seems in any way remotely spring-like here in Newfoundland. And it's been a beautiful week all week. And I wrote that song, yeah, that was the second. I've written a bunch of songs specifically about trees, and I think that one began as a song about trees because I was taking part in, there was this series of tree concerts that were organized by this group in Ottawa to save some trees. And so the next song that I'm going to do is the song that I wrote for that, but I think I started the spring song as an idea of like, oh, I'll write some more songs for that. And I didn't write any more songs for that, but I did go on to write at least 2 more songs about trees. But this is the one that started it all. And it also kind of speaks of, sort of mentions the winter and just all the things that are going on in trees, which I think is appropriate for the season. Broken branches, imperfection, knots and holes and gnarly things. Limbs sprout off in wild direction. There's no such thing as right trees. Trees just are. Roots grow into one another, intertwining endlessly. Burrows and bumps and nests ungainly. There's no such thing as wrong trees. Trees just are. Let them be. Craters, crevices, and deadfall, weakened boughs and rot unseen, harboring a throng of peril. There's no such thing as right trees. Trees just are. Let them be. Trees. Standing dormant through the winter, bark and needles sheltering, resolute within its armor. There's no such thing as wrong trees. Shifting with the winds, persisting through the years. No wrong tree. Broken branches, imperfection, knots and holes and gnarly things. Broken branches, imperfection, knots and holes and gnarly things. Limbs spread off in wild direction. There's no such thing, there's no such thing, there's no such thing as right trees. There's no such thing as wrong trees. All right, I think next, yes, here's where your talk of weeding, I think, gets into place. Is it? No, it isn't. We'll get to that. Next on the list is the first cover. I've got 3 covers in today's set list, and a theme that's going to come up. Actually, maybe it's only coming up thrice. It came up in spring. It's coming up in the last song. I think synonymous with spring. Birds are fairly synonymous with spring because, of course, they go away for the winter. Smart things. A lot of them do, not all of them. But then they come back in the spring, and that's usually once we hear the robins on the go, I think we know spring is upon us. Oh no, I think there's at least 4. I have 5 songs. I think half the set list mentions birds now that I look at what I've got in front of me. But anyway, this is a Gillian Welsh song. It's about the end of winter.
So lonesome, shaking that morning chill. Oh, little red bird, open your mouth and say, been so lonesome, just about flown away. So long now I've been out in the rain and snow. Winter's come and gone, a little bird told me so. Oh, little bluebird, pearly feather breast, 5 cold nickels, all that I got left. Oh, little bluebird, what am I gonna do? 5 cold nickels ain't gonna see me through. So long now I've been out in the rain and snow. Winter's come and gone, a little bird told me so. Dark as the trouble in this heart of mine. Poor little blackbird sings a worried song. Dark as trouble till winter's come and gone. So long now I've been out in the rain and snow. Winter's come and gone, a little bird told me so. So long now I've been out in the rain and snow. Winter's come and gone, a little bird told me so. Winter's Come and Gone, I think is the name of that song. And that's Gillian Welsh. I'm pretty sure. All right, now we're going to move to a song that pertains to weeding. And this is May month. I wanted to put it in the set because May, it's No Mow May, which is where, in order to encourage the bees, encourage the continuation of the bees, and by extent life on Earth. People are asked not to mow their lawns in the month of May, so things like weeds and stuff can grow, and the bees can do their bee thing. And so that gets mentioned. That gets mentioned in this song, which is a very true story about what's going on in my lawn, which isn't really a lawn. I kind of live on the side of a hill. Anyway, the property. The grounds. This is what's going on my grounds. Try to turn the guitar away from the microphone so it doesn't overwhelm. I saw the prices in the flyers and kinda lost the drive. Then I looked over the ground and saw that it was mostly moss. I didn't buy a mower, didn't need it after all. I tried to find alternatives for dealing with the lawn. I thought about the simple tools less modern people use. Then I heard about the bees and how my help was needed. And so I put all thoughts aside and cutting down the lawn. Before I knew it, they grew around the cherry tree. Overwhelmed the walking ways. There's a whole lot of days marveled at the flowers and listened to the birds and bugs our growing garden charmed. But as the grass grew longer, we came to acknowledge this wild and untamed lovely thing was growing out of hand. And before I knew it, they grew all around the strawberries, overwhelmed the rose beds. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. And I wonder what's nesting underneath, and I worry about who will find their way to the house. And I want to leave the critters free to roam. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. Well, now it is a magic place where seas of colors thrive, a setting for a storybook about Mr. Butterfly, a buzzing, teeming meadow of green and yellow and purple, of ladybugs and mallow blooms and stubborn spider holes. And they grew all around the garden shed, overwhelmed the boxwood bush. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. And they grew all around the cherry tree, overwhelmed the walking ways. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. There's a whole lot of daisies in my yard. There we go, a whole lot of daisies. And I should mention, that song was inspired, no, I mean, it is true, everything that happened in my yard, but it was inspired because of the thumbnail for today's show is me lying in a field of daisies. And I posted that on Instagram with the caption, "Whole lot of daisies in my yard." And someone was like, "That's a song, isn't it, Kyla?" Well, it is now. So there we go. All right, what's next on the list is birds also show up. There were birds in that one too. I think there's birds in 6 songs. Sometime soon the theme will be birds and it will be half of this set. So I went outside yesterday. We've got a swing, so I went and painted. It needs a coat of rust paint. So I went outside for an hour yesterday afternoon. And I was like, I have to put this song on the set list because one of the lines in this song is I got feasted on by flies. And that is what happened to me yesterday. I actually have a fly bite right in the middle of the palm of my hand and on my forehead. They flew under my shirt and ate my stomach. I was covered in fly bites. I was a buffet. So I was like, well, we have to put this song in, and this is also very spring-like. I was feeling kinda grumpy, couldn't be bothered with anything. Got up and put my shoes on, out the door, go see what's out there. I walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours, how good it is to go out for a walk. Saw what looked like bunny tracks. I followed them and fell into a bog. I scraped my knee as I crawled out and got feasted on by flies. Walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost my myself for hours how good it is to go out for a walk. Dip my feet into a pond and stop to eat some berries on its shore, where I was scolded by the birds and then some squirrels told me off. Visited a frog beside a brook and picked some daisies for a chain. I dodged some ATVs and turned around because I saw a moose walk down the street until I found a path to let into the woods. I lost myself for hours. How good it is to go out for a walk. It's good to go out walking. How good it is to go out. It's good to go out for a walk.
There, how good it is. You've never had a bad problem with flies? Yeah, we've got we have a serious problem with I got bitten by black flies and mosquitoes yesterday. They were all together, swarms of them. And I kind of didn't notice because they haven't been out. Like, they must have just come out. It's like a new spring thing. So I was unprepared. And then I was just kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then I brought out the citronella candle, and I think it was a little bit better. But yeah, we get serious fly activity. All right. Is this what's next? No, this is not what's next. I am just going to clip this so I don't lose you guys to my screensaver. All right, next on the list. Spring is quite about renewal. So this is a song about renewal. Paint settled in the fibers of the carpet on one edge where the tape was less secure. I did my best to soak it up, but latex hardens much too swiftly for my reflexes to snare. Well, there go all my efforts for a clean job. There go my endeavors for a perfect home. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, I poured over too many shades of white. Who knew such a number could exist? It was far more complicated than I was expecting, and by the end of it just kinda picked one. Well, there goes all my efforts for a clean job. There goes all my planning, all my careful choice. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it didn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. So many jagged edges where a hole is cut for piping, or a molding isn't quite flush to the wall. I broke so many tiny brushes made of foam, just trying to jam that paint to those corners. When I was all done, there were still spaces, places that I missed where the old shows through. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark in the grand scheme of things. And we're going to stay in sort of housework mode for the next part, which is a song about spring cleaning. And I think there's a real one could go through one's things and get rid of them any time of year, but it really seems to, we get really into it in spring. So this is a sing-along. I think it should be apparent what the sing-along lines are. It's a house cleaning sea shanty. I've had this box for a whole decade, sitting in the basement, forgotten, taking up space in the storage room, filled with souvenirs I never want to look at. Just throw it away, you're never gonna miss it. Just throw it away, just throw it away, just throw it away, you're never gonna miss it. I've had this dress since my high school days, hanging in the closet, uncared for, doesn't quite fit and it's out of style. Dry clean only and the zipper isn't working. Just throw it away, you're never gonna wear it. Just throw it away, just throw it away, just throw it away, you're never gonna wear it. I bought these novels at a church bazaar, lined up on the bookshelf. Neglected words and characters I'll never know, uncracked spines mocking my intentions. Just throw them away, you're never gonna read them. Just throw them away, just throw them away, just throw them away, you're never gonna read them. I got these parts in the bargain bin, 'cause you never know when you'll need them, waiting in the cupboard with the broken things, for a rainy day you know is never coming. Just throw them away, you're never gonna use them. Just throw them away, just throw them away, just throw them away, you're never gonna use them. I've had this notion for a whole lifetime, lurking in my consciousness, untended, gathering dust, growing mold, a thought, an attitude it's slyly sabotaging. Just throw it away, you're never gonna need it. Just throw it away, just throw it away, just throw it away, you're never gonna need it. Just throw it away, just throw it away, just throw it away. You're never gonna need it, you're never gonna fix it, you're never gonna want it, you're never going to miss it. There. We need a woo after that. Tidying up. All right, we're getting towards the last stretch. I'm just gonna make sure we're getting towards the last stretch. What did I say this? Oh, you've got midges. Yeah. They don't bite, but they buzz in your face. I've heard of midges. I don't know that I've experienced midges, but that's yeah, swarming in one's face is annoying. It's one swarms of things. We have a day, there's one day when the ants, the flying ants, the mating ants, there's an ant orgy. They just take over the entire sky, and that's quite something here. Is this the right guitar? This is the right guitar. Oh, yeah. I guess if there's like swarms of them flying about your face, you'd get a few accidental. You'd get some ingested here and there. That sounds really awful. I'm sorry that happened to your friend. That's dreadful. All right, we're gonna do two covers now. Two covers. We've got 3 songs left on the list, and this is a song I like to sing at the change of seasons. And I know we're like technically not at the change of the season, but it feels like the change of the season here. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And
a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, and a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time for love, a time for hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. Very good, very good, Nancy. Well, it was wonderful to see you, and good luck with your mile-long to-do list. I have mile-long to-do list solidarity for you. Go out and be productive. Good to see you here. Good to see you here, and I hope you can avoid. May the swarming midges swarm elsewhere. All right, our next song, we've got birds in the next two songs, and possibly swarming midges. This is something that's sort of becoming one of my favorite covers, I think. How many kinds of sweet flowers grow in an English country garden? I'll tell you now, some that I know and those I miss you'll surely pardon. Daffodils, heartsease and phlox, meadowsweet and lady smocks, gentian, lupin and tall hollyhocks, roses, foxglove, snowdrops, forget-me-nots in an English country garden. In an English country garden. How many insects come here and go through our English country garden? I'll tell you now of some that I know and those I miss you'll surely pardon. Fireflies, moths and bees, spiders climbing in the trees, butterflies that sway on the cool gentle breeze. There are snakes that sing and many creepy things in an English country garden. In an English country garden. How many songbirds fly to and fro through our English country garden? I'll tell you now of some that I know and those I miss you'll surely pardon. Bumble and cuckoo and quail, tanager and cardinal, bluebird, lark, thrush and nightingale. There's joy in the spring when the birds begin to sing in an English country garden. robin. Don't forget the robin. Don't forget the robin.
Oh, English country garden. And we'll swap back to our, we'll defuzz. Too much guitar swapping leads to a fuzzy camera. And we shall tune down for this one. There is serious bird action. We went to open what we call the rave birds are back. It's warm enough that we thought we might try sleeping with the window open last night, and then we remembered that at this time of year, the birds all start partying at about 4 a.m. and wake us up. And even with the window closed, they kind of been waking us up with their loud, raucous parties, their late night raves. This is a song about birds. Who are really excited about spring.
Generate air on the wing. Lift and drag a memory encoded, understanding unforgotten. Jump, drop, glide. Taken by the wind. Providing for the brood, hunt and gather, quarry nest, hereditary, side dive, capture, taken by the wind. Fragments of time, times long past, we walked on land. Great behemoth lies there still, by fate continues, taken by the wind. Herons tended, chirping, chattering, gossip shared on the wire. Daylight waning, helio settling, nocturnal dangers waken. Home, rise to it again. Taken by the wind, taken by the wind. Thank you, EC. Appreciate it.
So there we have it for today, folks. I've been Kyla Tilley, and this has been the weekly Wednesday Warble. We did 10 songs about spring. Next week, the 29th, yes, I'll be back next week with 10 songs about the color pink. So pink will be mentioned, or maybe it'll be a song about something that we associate with the color pink, who knows. But that's what the set list for next week is going to be. So have a wonderful week, everybody, and I will see you next time. Take care.